people. Today I'm going to be doing a set of spring nails. I'm calling these Spring Blossom. This is a little shorty set that I'm doing for my mom, as I'll be going out there again pretty soon. And I'm starting off with some Makartt polish in kind of a lightish pink. Kind of a mauve-y, well, no, it's not really mauve-y pink, but it was a pretty pink. And we'll just go ahead and get these first coat of polish on. Yeah, if you guys saw the video I did for a set of Christmas nails for her, it did not go over so well. They just would not stay on her. Like every day I was there, I was gluing on, you know, 1 or 2, 3 nails. So I don't know what the story is. So she sized them herself with the sizing kit. So I think I've done a little adjustment to the size, and I've gone with a little bit of a shorter nail versus the ones I gave her before. That was the first coat being cured, and now we're going in with the second coat. Now I don't know why I put 2 coats on all of these, because some of these are going to have full coverage of foil, so they didn't really need 2 coats. But you know, sometimes you get on autopilot and you're just going along doing stuff. And once again, I have the restriction of no crystals, no embellishments that are going to stick up and get caught on anything. Nothing rough. They have to be smooth. It kills me not to put stuff on. I guess it's good for me. It helps me to edit myself, because I tend to put a lot more stuff on than really is probably necessary. And that has been cured. Now we're going on to the foil glue, and I'm using Makartt's foil glue. You want to put a very thin layer of this on. Okay, the thumb is going to be a full coverage, so we're covering that all the way. It's a very thin coat, because if you get too much, it like will run down to the side edges, and then it wants to wrinkle along there. Okay, the ring finger also is going to be a full coverage, and then the other 2 middle ones there are going to be half coverage, so we're just going to put glue on the top half of them. I did a set very similar to this, like last year around this time. They were stilettos, but basically it was the same, pretty much the same design, I think. Okay, and I will give that a cure, and once it's out, we're going to be ready to go with the foil. And this is the foil I'm going to be using. Got this from AliExpress. And once again, make very sure that you got your placement right before you let it touch that nail. Because once it touches that foil glue, it's on there. There's no like picking it up and moving it. Now you notice I got some wrinkles on the side. And what I could have done, which I didn't do, and I don't know why, but as I'm looking at this, if I had just grabbed both of those corners and kind of pulled them away from each other, the wrinkles would have smoothed out, and then I could have, but I'm doing it the hard way. I'm actually just going over where the wrinkles are and just giving it a good rub with my nail. You'll notice I got my good gloves back. I did not like those blue ones that were vinyl. They just ripped really easy, and I can't not have that. Okay, now I'm going to lift that side of it up, but we're not taking it off yet. We still have to do the other side and get that all pressed down. Now, there's another wrinkle there. I'm just going to smooth them out. On these full coverage ones, you got to be a lot more careful. And I usually give them a lot more rubbing time than they really need, because I just want to make sure it's all on there. Also, I will tell you, don't like just yank this off of there and like real quick when you think you've got it on, because if there's any places that you missed with the foil didn't stick or transfer, then you've got to try to line it all up and get everything to match and stick it back on, and it's really hard to do that. So if you just take it off slowly, which I'll do here in a second, as you're pulling it off, you can see if something didn't transfer, then you can immediately lay it back down and give it some more rubbing. See, that little edge I could see already wasn't transferring. The rest of it I think was okay. Sorry, there's the top of my head in there again. Nice. Transferred pretty nicely. I really was happy with the set, the way it came out. There's still a little bit of a wrinkle there. I was trying to smooth it out. In the end, it didn't really matter, but... And that is the thumb. Now go ahead and do the ring finger, which is also going to be a full coverage. I'll show you that one. It's another thing, working with these little shorties, these little square shorties, I have a hard time sometimes telling the top from the bottom. And obviously the top cuticle edge is roundy and the bottom part is square, but when it's just all together, sometimes you're just kind of going along, and I have put some things on upside down before by accident. And this is going to be the same way. I'm just going to smooth this down. There, see that one, I kind of did that with the corners. That's what I should have done with the first one. Also, you don't have to work with the full strip of foil like that. You can cut them into more manageable pieces. I just didn't bother to do that. Now I'm going to be doing another set pretty soon here. That's going to be a leopard set that I'm using foils for, so... And that's going to be having some full coverage on longer nails. So, we'll see how that goes. I've never done them on a really long set before. Okay, I'm giving this a lot harder rub than you probably need to, but like I said, I like to make sure it's really on there good. Especially around the edges, I want to make sure I get it on there pretty good. And then I just give it a rub along the edge with my nail. And when I think it's all on there, I will take it off. Okay, I don't know where I went. There we go. And apparently I decided it needs some more rubbing. And there we go. That's the index finger. And no, it wasn't. It was the ring finger. I lied. Okay. So, onwards. We're going to now just do the half nails, and I'm just going to use that little bit that's left over on the top part of this one, because it fit in there quite nicely. This is me getting every penny's worth out of my foils. If there's any design left on there, I will just save that little piece of foil and go put it back in my binder with the rest of them. I do like to get my money's worth out of stuff. I don't like to waste anything. And there's the half one. And then there's one more half one. If I can get to it. Okay, now this one is the index finger this time. It's also going to be a half. And I'm going to just carry on along that edge. I think I cut off the part that I used for the thumb. Yeah, I cut that part at the end of it off to make this a little more manageable in size. Okay, I'm just going to get a grip on that, and we're going to smooth it on. Now, I'm not sure if it was this one or a different one, but there was an issue with one of these. I don't know if it was this one or the ones on the other hand, but I'll show you what happened and how I fixed it. And ba-bam, there we go. Okay, it wasn't that one. That one looked to be fine. Okay, well there's what we have so far. So far, pretty easy and quick. Just what I like. Okay, now see the top edge of this one? See right there where my thumb is? It's all the pink polish, you can see it. That, apparently there was no foil glue on that little bit when I put it on there. So, I'm just going to get a little more foil glue. This is the tiniest bit. I'm just going to put it on that little section right there. Let it overlap the tiny little bit, but not much. Now I've cured that. And I'm going to go back in. This particular design, I wasn't worried about matching it up because it's, you know, it was just a little sliver of it. And it's kind of busy, so I figured it didn't matter. But you might need to, if you have more of a design that needs a matching part, you'll have to match it up again. But I'm just using one of the little leftover bits on here on that section. It's not going to match perfectly, but it will cover that little bit of strip of polish. And there we go. Fixed. Can't even hardly tell. Of course, every time I look at this set, I'm going to see that. It's going to bother me. Anyway, we're moving on to, got this platinum glitter gel. Got this off of AliExpress, which quite frankly is where I get the vast majority of my nail art stuff. And we're just going to get the detailer brush, and I'm just going to paint a stripe across the line where the foil ends right there. And I think I wasn't happy with my brush. I think my brush was like stiff from the last time I used it. It wasn't cleaned properly, so I had to stop and clean it. And now I gotta get situated. The area that I have to actually work in on my desk is kind of small, so there's only so much surface area of the desk, and it's crammed full of stuff. So I only have a little workable area in the middle there. One of these times I'll do a video of my nail room, give you guys a tour. Once I am happy with the line on there, I will go ahead and do the other ones off camera and cure those. And then I'm going to move on to the butterfly stickers. And we're just going to put a couple of these on. There's just going to be one on each hand. This is me trying to decide which one to put it on. I got these. These are like a metallic-y butterfly, shimmery butterfly. It doesn't really pick up very well on camera. But these also came from AliExpress. You can see the number in the middle. If you just search butterfly stickers, I'm sure they'll pop up. But I'm going to use the pink ones. And here's me being an idiot going, why isn't this staying on my nail thing? Because it would help if it was right side up. But I'm going to just put one on the ring finger of this one. And there we go. And then the other one, I started off with the ring finger and decided I didn't want it on there. I was hoping for some of the pink ones, the really smaller size, but they weren't any. So this is me trying to figure out which one I'm going to use. Like some of the other colors had some really small ones, but the pink ones did not. So what I ended up with, this is kind of a bigger one. I decided it was a little too big for that nail. I wasn't totally liking it. So in a second I'm going to swap that out and decide to put the other one on the other hand on the thumb instead. And being that these are, with the exception of the butterflies, these are pretty soft colors, I wanted them to be even more soft and muted. So that's it for the stickers. There's one on each hand. That's it. And then we are ready for top coat. And as I was saying, since I wanted the colors to stay like soft and kind of muted, I'm going with a matte top coat on these. I was pretty pleased with how these came out. So hopefully my mom will like them. And hopefully they'll stay on her this time, because I don't know what else to do. Get them to stay on. I did the same stuff with her nails that I do with my own in prep. And for whatever reason, they just didn't want to stay on there. Of course, she's one of those people that can never sit still. She's always up and about, cleaning and doing this and that. And she rarely sits still. So, and plus she's not used to having longer nails, so I guess that's why she's bumping them and knocking them off all the time. Anyway, we are going to get this cured. That's what it would look like if you kept them shiny. And I'm going to cure them, and that's what we have for the finished set. If you liked the video, please give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching.